Welcome back to Rocky Mountain National Park. Today we'll be visiting Bear Lake and Alberta Falls. And, well, we're a little short on breath, kind of.
One shot?
We bought some liquid oxygen, and we are gonna at least go down and look at Bear Lake.
What's the elevation here? Over 9,000 feet?
Yeah, 9,500 feet. And since we spend
It's unnatural.
6 months a year, last year, at sea level,
It's kicking our butts.
the designers of this path were very considerate. There are benches everywhere. Ugh. They say the water is really cold still.
What a sunrise would look like here.
Well, I was thinking we would see a sunset, but it set way behind a different mountain.
And it's set way early.
Yeah. And
because of the mountains.
And this nice little payoff is
For a
only
strenuous hike.
only 250 feet away from the parking lot.
Looks like we can walk any of these and go around.
Yeah.
Or either direction.
Oops, sorry. Sorry about the touchy camera. This is one of the most popular hikes in the park because it is an easy 1 mile hike.
Easy, huh?
On a fairly packed gravel trail. The smell of pine in the air is heavy. It's beautiful up here.
We might make it back before dark. No worries though, there aren't any bears up here or in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, they got a small group of black bears, but they estimate them only to be between 20 and 50 because they're really hard to count.
And apparently the early settlers hunted the grizzly to extinction in this area.
Bear claw, remember?
Oh yeah, bear claw. Jeremiah Johnson.
There you go.
Oh wow. Look at that. The weather up here must twist trees and tame them, I guess. Not exactly a sunset, but still so beautiful with the mountains reflecting into the water. We took our time on this walk, even sat down several times and just enjoyed the quiet and the peacefulness of the lake and the beauty of the mountains. Very tranquil place.
Oh, a babbling brook.
A very little one. Still not so great with the gimbal camera, but I did want to say that this 1 mile hike around Bear Lake is considered an easy hike, pretty flat most of the way. Especially for us as we're kind of getting used to the altitude.
We're
Flatlanders, sea levelers. But anyway, it's usually very busy during the day. So busy that the parking lot is full and you have to ride a shuttle bus to get up here. But we arrived, was after 7 o'clock, and still enough daylight to do the hike, although that might be questionable here shortly. But it's beautiful and not as populated. Little hint, the people at the park told us that the first couple weeks of September are the quietest time around Rocky Mountain National Park because the families have gone home and the big tourist season starts in September with the elk rut. So, although I'd love to tell you that we did this on purpose, we didn't.
That is a big rock.
That is a big rock.
Look up.
Yep. And there we are, back by the lake.
And look at that big hill.
Oh, that is a big hill. Oh, I probably should shut the camera off to make it up that one. Okay, I said relatively flat, but it's not.
With the exception of this one side.
It's not been bad. But it's certainly not wheelchair accessible or
well, it would
boardwalk.
Be. I think it could be.
And this
but
is
I wouldn't push it.
This is for my sister. You'd be stuck out here because I wouldn't be pushing you up this hill. Just kidding.
No, she's not.
I've pushed her before.
Not like this.
Whew.
Look at the picturesque bench.
I think we'll probably take a rest.
Partake. Shall we?
Say it again.
Say what? Look at the downhill.
The downhill, no, the drill marks, he said.
Oh, those drill marks they used to cut this path into the rocks. There were long ones back there.
Okay, well here we are. We are getting ready to go down to the Alberta Falls. I say down.
I can already hear it.
Yeah, we can hear the water rushing from here. It's about a half-mile hike. It's listed by the park department as an easy hike.
At this rate, we're never going to get there.
The stairs, there's a lot of stairs.
And a photographer.
And a photographer. What was I going to say? You made me forget what I was going to say. Anyway.
It's a pretty hike.
We'll see. The only bad part of stuff like this is the climb back up.
I'm going to wait down here for you to get up there and I'm going to take pictures.
Okay. I have sunscreen. No bug spray, but sunscreen.
Sunset.
It's about 6:20 in the evening. And in case you don't know, you hear a lot about the timed entry for the national parks. But if you come in before 8 o'clock in the morning or after 6 o'clock at night, you don't have to have a timed entry pass.
Kind of hard to spend the whole day here though like that.
Yeah.
Well, not really.
We didn't really have the energy to spend the entire day here anyway. Well, I'm pretty
That's
sure
not it.
that better not be it.
Keep moving. I just need to bring a flashlight.
Well, let's hope a half-mile hike doesn't take us 2 hours. A lot of stairs. The elevation in this hike, if I didn't say it already, is 160 feet. Got to take a half a second and look at the flowers.
Hold still for a second. Good enough for scissors.
Very pretty. Okay, looks like we get to do all 160 feet at one time. Slow and steady, using the walking sticks today. Almost there.
Yeah.
And we're still breathing.
Flies are still keeping up too.
Yeah, the flies and mosquitoes are quite thick.
And hungry.
Look at the size of that rock. I can see that our boys would have saw that as a total challenge. Fortunately, they're
Plenty of rocks
older
to sit on.
and wiser now. My knees are screaming. Wow, these boulders are amazing. Looks like there's been a landslide here, you think?
Looks like they've been here for a long, long time.
The telltale signs of elk up here.
Hope it was oak.
Hopefully it's not bear.
But there was a lot of them.
When we came around the corner, I thought we had to traverse these rocks. But fortunately, there's a sturdy log to get across. Let's stop and wonder about this. Totally flat, yet there's giant boulders on top of it.
They fell and rolled along the way, I think.
I think that rock that has the slit in it right there has snakes. That bird started chirping and thought, snakes! Can you smell the pine in the air now?
No.
Really?
My sniffles broke or something.
I'm gonna say, it's pretty heavy in the air right now.
So it was.
Always the positive one, hon.
Just pointing out the obvious here.
Roger and our boys always were the ones that would go to the edge of the rock. Not me.
Much trees, can't see much. Okay.
And thank you for not getting close.
Didn't need to.
Recording.
You saying that you really love?
I just want
That
to.
you really love? I'm sorry. Are you saying that she really loves you?
Yeah, I just want to record his death if that's what's happening here. It's like a little dam.
And then the big Alberta Falls is another 6/10, so that's 1.1 miles one way.
Ooh, baby. The payoff. all of the still pictures in this video will be because of our very talented photographer who's willing to climb down rocks to get a good shot. Don't forget the trusty walking stick. And then there's more. I don't know if you get to the top of the falls, I guess. Okay, we could go higher, as you can see, but I do believe this is the extent of my desire. The rocks start getting wet from here on up. This hike is about 1.5 miles round trip. But I'd say the payoff is worth it.
Delana coming down from her perch. Oops, I'm not very good at this gimbal either.
Huh?
I said I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, there was no way I was going up that hill. I don't know why they dropped it down. What's that? I don't know why they dropped it down. Well, we are about to run out of daylight, so instead of finding a nice picnic area to do our final video, we are in the parking lot, and as you can see in the background, a storm is moving in.
Maybe.
So maybe. It looks like that frequently. Anyway, a couple thoughts on Rocky Mountain National Park. First of all, I would say plan a week here. We only gave ourselves 4 days, knowing that we weren't going to do a ton of hiking. But
Because we're not the hiking type.
we had an unexpected thing, altitude sickness. Neither one of us
Who
have.
knew?
Neither one of us have any kind of chronic breathing problems, so we did not know to expect that. In fact, I'm going to have Roger tell you, he has suffered for it pretty bad.
We leave tomorrow, and I'm just now starting to get over it. I had very labored breathing to the point where I called our family doctor and asked for an inhaler.
Thank you, Dr. Neller.
And that seemed to work. I was under the impression that an inhaler worked instantly, but they don't. So I'd take a couple hits, a couple hours before we left home, and that seemed to help with the breathing. They also have a can of oxygen here. They sell them all over Estes Park. I'm not sure that they had much of an effect, but we gave it a shot.
Well, you thought it was you kept calling
Gimmick.
it a gimmick,
Yeah.
but I felt like it helped me.
But some of the other side effects of altitude sickness are nausea, diarrhea, and I think I ran the gamut. I think I had everything.
Yeah.
And it's just started to feel a little better today. So
His symptoms actually started when we were on our way here at about 5,000 feet. He started just not feeling good. He's hardly eaten anything all week. So,
I think I've eaten pretty well.
yeah, well, okay.
That's another story.
I have notes, so if you wonder what in the world I'm doing, I have to be able to see them. And I had a mild headache a couple of days and some shortness of breath, but the oxygen thing really did help me, so I was pretty good with that. By the way, thank you, Joanne Height, for telling us about this. We weren't planning on going shopping at all, so would not have even known that they had something like that.
But we had an inhaler to pick up.
Yeah. Couple things that you will hear from everybody when you get here, and that it really is true, is first of all, get good and hydrated before you even arrive. I don't know that we drank enough water before we got here, that maybe if we had done that, we could have alleviated some of the symptoms. But they say at least a gallon of water a day, and that sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
But it's supposed to help. The other thing is, Dress in layers, depending on what you're hiking or what you're doing. There was a day we left the flat land, which was 8,000 feet above sea level, and it was hot, and then we got up on top of the mountain, it was cold, and they said it wasn't cold, but it was,
there were people in ski jackets, toboggan hats, and gloves.
Yeah. So what we did is we just put our winter coats and hats and gloves in a bag in the truck, so we were prepared if something like that were to happen. They said it can snow up there at any time of the year.
It's at the highest visitor center in the national park system, over 11,000 feet. I think it's 11,195, something like that.
I think it's in the video earlier, but at any rate, if you get a chance to visit this amazing park, you got to do it, and do plan that and it hasn't happened while we're here, but they say that almost every afternoon there's a thunderstorm. If that happens, you've got to get inside and get below the tree line inside a vehicle or something. So you'll hear all of the safety rules when you get here, and hopefully you get a chance to come and enjoy this the way we have. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope, I think we're good.
It's getting dark, let's go home.
Yes, let's go home. If getting out to Rocky Mountain National Park is not in your future or your ability, I hope you've enjoyed this experience through our eyes. See you next week.